I got the book Imbibe opened up. I found a few recipes throughout time making this. And one drink I'd like to make is a Daisy, which is the forerunner of one of the root cocktails known as the margarita, or also the sidecar. I was going to actually make this as a tribute drink to my own family out of the interesting stories that we do have. One ingredient that unfortunately I do not have is something called ginger syrup. It got moldy in the back of the fridge, so I'm just going to forego that and go with the old school version of the Brady Daisy. I have all these spirits on, I don't need them all, but in the book it says to make a Daisy you could use brandy, whiskey, which I have rye, which was very favorable back then, rum, or gin, which I have Old Tom Gin. I'll use that in some future videos. But I decided to go with brandy. It was actually the first spirit I tried as a youngster, and also the story goes that we had a bottle of ginger brandy in Grandma's cabinet that was good to take when you had a cold, so that's why I wanted to do a ginger syrup, but we'll forego that. Let's get right to it then. I'm babbling away. It asks for a teaspoon of gum syrup. I have that in this jar, which is basically simple syrup with gum arabic to thicken it up. Got a little shot glass to measure stuff. So it calls for a teaspoon. There it is. Whoop. That's a fat teaspoon, but why not? They liked the drinks real sweet back in the day. Let's make that so. And it calls for orange cordial in the book, which is basically an orange curacao. I got a dry curacao that was very period correct in flavor-wise. Calls for an ounce and not an ounce and a half. It calls for a teaspoon and a half, which is about a quarter ounce. Let's see if I can get this all right. There we go. Some dry curacao. It's an orange liqueur that's brandy based. Alright. Calls for the juice of half of a lemon. I have a lemon cut up here. And got an old school version of the reamer for juicing it. Fresh squeeze is always the best way to go when making classic cocktails. There we go. We'll measure this just to see where we're at. Even though it just says the half of the lemon there. And it's just a little shy of 3/4 of an ounce, which is where you want to be for these type of drinks. Next, it calls for 2 ounces of spirit. As I said, I'd like to do a brandy drink, so we're going to use Hennessy, a delightful cognac. And we'll do 2 1-ounce pours, since a shot glass only goes up to 1.5 ounces. Measure of 1 ounce. There's 2 ounces cognac. Alright, all the ingredients are together. Now it's time for some ice. I seem to misplace my spoon. Let's get cracking. It's getting in there, hooray. It's good enough. You basically want it to be cracked so it can do a little bit of dilution as well as chilling. Get the two together, boom, boom. There you go. We're shaking because there's lemon juice in it. There we go. It's nice and chilled. Last of the drips. And time to go. Brady Daisy. It's only 2 girls. We're not going to bother with any garnish, though. It doesn't seem to even mention of a garnish, so let's just enjoy. This drink's not going to be for everyone. It's kind of more sophisticated, a little more old school. But the flavors work very well together. Having that little extra gum syrup definitely helps work against the tartness of the lemon. And the orange carousel, which is giving quite a bit of flavor as well as a bit of kick to it, working along with the Hennessy. A classic cocktail for classic times.